If it were up to me personally, interviews would be banned, illegal, punishable by death. Okay, hear me out. In order to even set up an interview, you first need to sell your soul. Secondly, download an app like Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, etc. And finally, say a prayer. And even then, your dumbass ain't getting a job. Let's be for real. Did you really think McDonald's is gonna hire you? You can't even make your bed in the morning. Okay, but for real, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything, especially so early in our time together, I'm 90% sure these apps are some big data mining tool used by the government to control the job markets or something, because what the beep. Hey, hurry up. What's taking so long?
I gotta get back to work.
Up there.
Sorry, if you don't hurry up, I'm gonna get real angry.
Come on, I gotta get back.
Hurry up. We don't have all day. Let's go.
Hey, do you guys need some help? Hello? Hey, psst. Hey, psst. Hey. Hello?
Who are you?
It says you're hiring. Do you need help?
Hiring? Hell no. God, go. Get away.
What's taking so
Shoot,
long?
scrap. Get out. Who?
Okay, but really, explain why inflation hit the job market as well. When did entry-level jobs need multiple years of experience? You have to be a team player from the moment you clock in to the second you clock out, and not a moment sooner. Until finally you get back to your car so you could cry, and then here they come asking you to come back in. Hey, so Tammy's not gonna be here. Do you think you could stay an extra hour? Mind you, this is for the legal, absolute, bare minimum wage they're allowed to give you. If you're a student or a teenager, you might as well just give up. If you can't fit into their flexible hours, they will absolutely move right on from you. So far, your resume looks pretty good. However, I just have one more question for you. Are you available from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.? No? We'll call you. Then, of course, there's places like Amazon that are always hiring. And to those of you who've had to work with warehouse or delivery jobs, I commend you, honestly. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear safety vests. If you've ever wanted to look a little older, a little more mature, more grown up, like you were 25 at 17 or 18, work a shift or two at a warehouse job. It'll put hair and sweat in places you didn't know hair and sweat could go. Outside of those jobs, realistically, the only way you're getting to an interview is nepotism. Because honestly, it's every man for himself out there. It is a bloodbath. And if by some miracle a hiring manager decides to lock in and actually do their job and, check up on their candidates, and if by some miracle they see your application and somehow, some way, it catches their attention enough to set up an interview with you, congratulations, you beat the tutorial. Welcome to level 1, the interview. And boy, it doesn't get easier. In fact, it gets harder from here. Let's just talk about them. So my first real interview was at this place named Kava. Some of you have probably heard of it. It's like a Mediterranean Chipotle. So one of my friends worked there at the time and suggested that I should apply too, so I could finally leave my job at the time, which more on that on another day. So fast forward to the day, I'm off school, I'm all dressed up, I'm in my button up and slacks, my mom drops me off, I'm feeling great, this is the best I've ever felt, I'm in my prime right now. And immediately I see the manager in the corner interviewing somebody. Bad sign number 1, that man was shitting bricks So my big macho man confidence quickly turned to 17-year-old confidence. Then to add icing on the cake, my mother, yes, mother, decided to post up outside like a secret agent trying to get the read on my interview. So now I'm shitting bricks, and you know what they say, where there's fear, there's Batman. Boom, and immediately the interrogation starts. She's going off, asking question after question after question. And after a little bit of back and forth, it hit me. This is an entry-level job. And the thing with these kind of jobs is that once you get to the interview stage, the questions, they're basically free. They're just generic questions that they look up off Google that everybody under the sun has looked up and memorized 1,000,000 times. And so, since little 17-year-old me has caught on to this, I start having fun with it. I'm making my way through the questions, figuring out, how far can I really push my answer? How extreme can I go? I'm not lying per se, but exaggerating the truth a little bit. All good so far. But there was one question I couldn't lie about. Oh, my age, I'm only 17. We'll call you. She didn't call me. Here's a little tip for those of you who haven't had your first entry-level interviews. If a company tells you we'll call you at the end of an interview, it's code for you didn't get the job. So do yourself a favor and pack it up and just keep it pushing because you're cooked. Basically, there's a 0% chance you'll ever be in contact with that person ever again. I promise you, save yourself the trouble. But at the time, I didn't know this, and I learned it the hard way because I was up all night waiting for that call. I even told my mom about it. And unfortunately, the actual text I sent is way worse. This is sugarcoating it. But to my surprise, she responded. And to nobody else's surprise, she said no. But if you think this interview is bad, you're right. You're very, very right. But my second interview is somehow much, much worse. Round 2. Fight. This one happened the next day. I know, back-to-back interviews. This place was Mendocino Farms, which I apparently applied to. Well, they make pastas or salads or something. I don't really know. And you're probably sitting there wondering, how do you not know what food they make? You applied there. Hell, you even interviewed for them. And to that, I say, shut up. I'm getting there. And also, anyway, at a certain point, you kind of just forget which companies and what positions you even applied for. And it's all really just a blur. But I digress. I really wanted to redeem myself from the previous interview, and I was desperate. So I set up this interview for as soon as I could, the very next day. And so I threw back on my exact same button-up and slacks, and my mom dropped me off again. Shout out to her. And so far, so good, yet again. I walked into this place, and it felt like walking into someone's Pinterest board come to life. Mendocino Farms is the final boss of Live, Laugh, Love. So I get to the front of the line, and I ask the cashier about an interview I set up, and he tells me to just sit down somewhere, and a manager will be out shortly. All good so far. Chill employee, chill vibes, chill food. I'm determined to redeem myself this time. And then the manager comes out. Pause. So the actual interview hasn't even started yet. We haven't even exchanged names yet. And this lady is very much not living, laughing, or loving. In fact, she was cold, callous, and cruel. We go through the same generic entry-level interview questions, and I give the same delicately crafted, well-seasoned lies. I even get past the age question. All is well. And then she asks, oh, and also, do you know anything about our menu? Pause. Now, if you've been paying attention, you'd realize.
I haven't a clue what's going on here.
I don't have a clue what's going on here. So now I'm panicking, palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, mom's sitting outside, calm and ready. You get the point. I'm trying to think of what to say here. Now in retrospect, I'd simply just come clean, explain how this interview was kind of last minute, so I wasn't entirely sure at the moment, but I'll study the menu as soon as possible, as soon as I got home. Then we could just move on to the next question, right?
Here, but I'll act like I do.
Of course I know the menu. Oh, interesting. So, can you tell me some of our items? So now we're just sitting there for a second. She's staring at me. I'm staring at her. She's staring at me. And I'm dying inside. All is well. And then I just mumbled out, sandwiches? Hey, so present day me here, and after some research, I wasn't even wrong. That's literally their menu. But her reaction to my answer was beyond unnecessary, because tell me why. Okay. I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. Thanks for your time. And then she gets up and walks away. Now, I know I could have maybe been a little more prepared for this interview, studied up a bit. But you can't tell me this wasn't a little personal. Am I ugly? I literally just sat there for 5 minutes, frozen in a restaurant, full of people after getting rejected. If this isn't a justifiable crash out, I don't know what is. So now you know why I'm a little biased against interviews, especially because after those two, I had 4 more and was rejected over and over and over again. But finally, one place took me in. One place saw the potential in me, saw the diamond in the rough. My glorious savior, who I probably can't name for legal reasons, Duh Taco. And as much as I'd love to say this job was everything to me, everything I've ever wanted and more, it has its own stories. But I'll need a part 2 for that. So, hey, this was my first video, so hopefully it does well because I really loved making it. And yeah, like and subscribe. And don't miss out for part 2, whenever that comes out. Anyway, have a good one and Happy New Year.